Alright guys, time to look at Manta Network on the channel once again. Now we haven't spoken about Manta since November 28th. Now if you go back on this chart, it is right about here. Yeah, right here guys. Probably, yeah, when it surged up here. Now we spoke about Manta at that time. We haven't really spoken about it since. Now I want to take a look at this cup and possible handle that might form. We have kind of deviated from my line. However, I do want to point out that the cup and handle is really still in play, and I just want to show you TRX real quick and just show you where I made this cup and handle. And you can see basically there was a big deviation here, little bit of a deviation here. It's not perfectly rounded, but this cup and handle from TRX did play out, guys. It did go to here at about 23 cents, the target. It actually overshot it, but it did come back to about that point. So technically, this was right. Now it did, surge up past it, but yeah, the technical target for the last month, 2 months has been pretty accurate on TRX. So yeah, I just wanted to point out though that, it's not always, a perfect rounded cup. So can this still play out? Yeah. And it probably will play out just over a little bit longer time frame. So I'm going to get rid of this and let's just delete this for now. And don't want to get rid of that line. Yes, I want to get rid of this. Now let's make a little bit better, more rounded cup. So I want to take this from here. Oh, what happened? Let me redo this real quick, guys. Sorry about that. Let me take it from here. Just kind of round it out. We'll put it something like this. And right about there. Okay, now let me move this and let's see. This is, why am I making so many lines here? Yeah, let's get rid of this line too. Sorry about all these drawings right now, but let's move this and let's just take this over to here. Let's just say it breaks out somewhere right here. So yeah, this is probably what is going to happen now. Although we had kind of a deviation here in November and December, still, this can be a cup and handle formation, and I still think the technical target would be about the same, because we're just measuring the depth basically, from the neckline all the way down to the bottom, which is still virtually the same as it was before, guys. So anyways, that target would be up here at about, wow, $6.30 almost. So that's quite large, that target. But yeah, right now, Manta sitting at 66 cents at the moment. And, it's struggling, guys. I can say it's just been kind of going sideways since middle of June. I mean, it broke down and basically hasn't really seen much above $1 since that time, with the exception of a little bit in December, this little deviation here. Now, let's take a look at this a little bit closer up. I want to zoom in. I want to look at the RSI too, but next resistance basically for Manta is about 75 cents. So let's take a look, RSI like I said, and okay, on the daily time frame, guys, looking good, pointed heavily to the upside. Weekly time frame, it is actually looks like it's pointed heavily to the downside in Stochastic RSI, but looks like it's just about to curve up with this blue line. So that's nice to see. The RSI is actually curved up, and it's, pretty low. So yeah, that is actually not bad. Let me just look at this on a monthly time frame. Now, it actually hasn't even printed anything on a monthly time frame. Still too young to do so, I guess. And so let's go to a 4-hour time frame real quick. Now, a little bit overbought here on Stoke, pointed heavily to the upside on the RSI, getting close to the overbought territory, but still has some room to grow, guys. Now, 1-hour time frame. Let's take a look here. It is it's so slow today. Come on, internet. And yes, finally. So it is actually overbought on both time frames, RSI and Stoke. And let's take a look at the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, actually not bad for the Stoke RSI. It was oversold and now is, pointed to the upside, and just getting in the overbought territory for the RSI. So not too bad on the 15-minute time frame, but mostly I would say the lower time frames are a little bit overheated. The longer time frames, daily, weekly, look pretty good. Monthly hasn't printed yet, but I would assume when it starts to print, it's going to be something like the daily and the weekly. It's going to be pretty low and have a lot of room to go to the upside. Now, I want to take a look at the volume in the visible range here. Basically, you can see Manta has a lot of, nodes really to work its way through. A lot of volume. It is down here, guys, so this still has to push through this largest node here. Once it gets above about 90 cents, it starts to drop off pretty rapidly. And, above about, 260 or so, you're going to kind of have this little lump here, we can call it. And, yeah, it just really needs to get over 90 cents, though. And then pretty much it can run up to about 260 without much trouble, because there isn't much volume between that. Now, let's go to the tokenomics of Manta real quick. There is 1 billion in the max supply. 377 million is out, so that's actually not bad, guys. You can see I'm in a loss here with Manta, but I am not that worried. I don't have that much Manta at all anyways, but I did buy this much higher. I bought it, I think, around $1.70, $1.80, something like this, or I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, you could add this together and you can see, you can average it. Okay, yeah, my average is here. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, my memory was correct. I didn't even see it though. Didn't even think about it. So yeah, basically all-time high for Manta was 405. You're getting 83% discount at the moment, almost 84. So not bad. I might even DCA into this shortly, because this is so low. I think it's probably one of the better ones to DCA in. It's one of my lower holds, I believe, at this moment. So I think pretty shortly I'm going to DCA into this a little bit. Now, Bitcoin, it is getting kind of a surge right now. It's 105,639. It is making its way back up to this 106,150. Let's see if it can break through this time. We do need to close a daily above that, and then I think that would signal continuation. You can see how many times we've hit this line and we just haven't been able to break through it. So, yeah. Now, if we take a look at Ethereum, it's also getting a surge at the moment. It's at about $3,400, and it's only got to close basically above 33.40 to get above this trend line, and then 33.13 to get above this little weekly resistance. So good to see. I'm glad, but next target for this is 35.34, and we haven't been above that since basically January 7th. So let's see what happens. We still got to kind of take out this local high, that we've been in for, I don't know, it's 3.5 weeks. And yeah, it has a lot of work to do, guys. Like I keep saying, Ethereum is just not one of my favorite coins. But it does lead the altcoins, unfortunately. So whatever it does, most of the altcoins do it also. So anyways, let's get a move on here. Now, total market cap is surging up. I didn't think we were going to get the 3.62 trillion today, but who knows? We still have about 8 hours to go. And yeah, everything is looking good for some reason at the moment. Now, excluding Bitcoin, it also is getting kind of a surge. It did break through yesterday, this trend line. It did retest it and got that bounce. So, yeah, it is working its way back up to 1.55 trillion. Now, dominance is it's struggling right here with this line at 59%. It is trying to, push lower. Let's see what happens, tonight. Now, it's still, like I said, it has 8 hours and 12 minutes to go. But if we can close a candle below 59% and this trend line, that would be ideal. But is this a retest also? We still have about 8 hours to find out. And, even if it would close like right here, it could still technically be a retest and tomorrow kind of bounce up. I really want to see it break down below, I don't know, like 58%. And then that would really signal that this move up is over, in my opinion. So, yeah, I need to see this break down a lot more. But right now, looking better. But again, you do see, for example, like this, and then big bounce. You see this, and then big bounce. So, is this the next big bounce? I hope not, because the technical target for this is all the way up at 63.3%, unfortunately. And that's, from this W pattern that has formed. Anyways, moving on, guys. Liquidation heat map is most liquidated right now. Then Bitcoin. And, there's only been 187 million wrecked in 24 hours. Not Fear and Greed. The altcoin season index is 57. Nice to see. It bounced up from about a 46. Now, taking a look at the Fear and Greed. We do have a 76 right now, so we are in extreme greed once again, unfortunately. Yesterday was a 70, so like I've said before, I don't really want to be in, above 70 or in the 70s. I would like to be a little bit below, maybe, above 60, between, 70, but any higher, you get into this extreme greed, really. We don't want to be here too long, because then you can expect a big crash. And, let's see what tomorrow brings, although I do believe that this will go up with, Bitcoin surging at the moment. Now, bull market peak indicators, nothing hit, 100% hold. So, yeah, best indicator, Pi cycle top indicator, still quite far from crossing. We were closer still in June. But eventually we will cross, and maybe in 5 or 6 months, guys. Now, next week on the economic calendar, guys, we need to look at this because we do have an important week coming next week. And you can see if this loads. On Monday, we will have, I think it's ISM and some manufacturing numbers, but let's see if it loads. Sorry about this, guys. Maybe it doesn't want to cooperate. But we do have all week numbers, I think, and economic data that's just coming out. So let's not take a look at this right now. We'll just skip this for the moment. Let me go to the crypto bubbles. And basically, it's pretty much green across the board. There are a few outliers here. But for the most part, we are green for the day. For the week, we are down, though, still. So like I've said, in a couple of the previous videos that I made today, this is much better than what we were seeing earlier in the week. So anyways, let's move on to Coinondo here, where if you want to stake your coins, you should probably check it. And it will tell you the amount of days that you need to stake. It'll also tell you the limits and things that you have. And be careful, you don't want to get locked up in any positions that you can't get out of. And basically, you don't know what's going to happen in 360 days or even 180 days. You just don't know. I mean, flexible or some, 30 days is probably best, maximum. But yeah, it's up to you what you want to do with your coins, guys. But me, that's what I'm doing. So anyways, if you like this video, guys, like, subscribe, activate the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.